Thank you.
And now we can start the video.
Connectra creates opportunities for people living with disabilities by providing information, resources, and programming geared towards greater inclusion and quality of life. Check out some of the programs we offer through our online learning platform, Connect Together, including our Service Mondays, where we highlight a local organization or initiative, Wednesday Chair Yoga with Bobbie Seale-Cobiskey, Thursday Adapted Fitness with Megan Williamson, Friday Rotating Dance Classes hosted by Janice Lawrence and Joanne Cuff, and other initiatives including presentations by the Disabled Independent Gardeners Association's Growable program and our Perspective series. Check out our updated programs calendar on our website, connectra.org, or find us on Facebook at Connectra Society.
Okay, Bobbie, you can start.
Thank you, Kassar. So I think I just got a message from one of my students. I want to make sure she's able to get into the space. Just really quick. Yeah, I don't know. So if you see a message from Sheila Kassar. So I'm just going to move into the screen to switch it to gallery view. And so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to an adapted seated yoga practice. And so for those of you who are perhaps joining us today for the first time, I hope that you fall in love with yoga, that you enjoy the class, and I think you'll be delighted to discover just how full a yoga practice we can have seated in the chair. And so always an invitation to begin by finding a comfortable sitting position. So a centering practice. Then lift your shoulders up, back and down. Relax your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. And then an invitation to bring your hands to your heart center, your chest. So it might be palms open or palms together. If this placement of your hands makes you lose your balance, choose another placement for your hands. So we never forfeit balance to come into a pose or movement. And then as ready, an invitation to lift your heart to your hands, bow your head to your heart, and to take a moment to allow yourself to consciously enter into the present. So setting aside whatever was going on for you before the yoga class, for the duration, knowing that you can come back to that after class. And then it's ready, relax your arms wherever feels most comfortable for you. And then an invitation to bring your hands in front of you and to wave your hands. And so reaching up the sky, like we can imagine, we're waving to our ancestors. So past, present, and future. And then coming forward a little, wave into our ancestors. And so reaching up to the sky. So I love to share the story about the woman I had in my class for a few years. She lived to be well over 100 years old. We were doing this practice one morning. She said, I feel like my ancestors are waving back. And so just like you're shaking water off your hands, let your arms slow down by your side, wherever it feels most comfortable for you. And then if you'd like, reaching up to the sky one more time. And this time on your exhale, making an audible sound. It could be a yawn or a floss. Ah. And so at this time, I'd like to invite you, if possible, to find a space where you're supporting your own spine. Come away from the back of the chair and nest so that you feel you're sitting forward on your sits bones. If you're needing or would like the back of the chair for support today, honor that. So yoga meets us exactly where we are. And so an invitation now to ground down through your sits bones. So maybe notice where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. Our Buddha belly is soft, spine is long. Lift your shoulders up, back and down. Relax your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. Tuck your chin in slightly, so chin is parallel to the floor. So if it's helpful, you place a finger or two on your chin and imagine a turtle. If you'd like, close your eyes here. Our attention moves inward. Allow your facial muscles to soften and release. Notice the alignment of the knees, hips, ankles, shoulders over hips. Notice the breath. And so allowing the breath to move the abdomen if you'd like, placing one hand on your belly. So on inhale, belly moves out. On exhale, belly moves in. And keeping one hand on your belly, take your other hand to your chest if you'd like. And maybe notice the pattern of movement of your breath between your abdomen and your upper torso. And then see if you can begin to expand the breath, making it just a little bit longer than it was when we began. Paying particular attention to the exhale. See if you can begin to lengthen the exhale. When we lengthen our exhale, it engages the relaxation response, allowing us to let go of holding, stress, and tension. So I'd like to encourage you, whenever possible, to keep this long, deep, easeful breath. And so as ready, if your eyes are closed, gradually blink your eyes open. And so from here, I'd like to come into a warm up. I actually like to start with eye movements. And so you're sitting comfortably, but still up nice and tall. An invitation to breathing in, look up. And on the exhale, looking down. So inhale, look. On exhale, looking down. And now an invitation, if you like, to add gentle neck movements, so warming up our cervical spine. So an inhale, looking up. So maybe your eyes meet where the ceiling meets the wall. And then looking downwards. Gentle movements. And then it's ready, bring your head back to center. And then take your ear towards your shoulder. And then moving back and forth. So from side to side. And then as ready, bring your head back to center. And then turn a soft gaze, looking just past your shoulder. Pause. So only move your head as far as feels comfortable for you. And then as if you're nodding no, turn your head from side to side. And then as ready, bring your head back to center. And so we've moved our cervical spine, our neck through its range, and now we're going to continue moving down along the spine with a movement called cat and cow. So as ready, draw your chest in. So it's as if your sternum's moving to the back of your ribs as you round your shoulders. And then move your sternum forward and up. And so you might notice as we continue this gentle movement that on the exhale, the hands naturally tend to slide towards our knees. And on the inhale, as we arch, hands slide in towards our hips. So in your own time and rhythm, for a few more breaths, keeping this gentle warm up, your spine flowing. And so if you are sensitive and it feels a little too intense to actually physically slide your hands along your legs, an invitation to explore moving energetically. So maybe your hands float above your thighs a little bit. And then it's ready, come on back to your neutral spine. And take a moment. And then from here, we're going to come into a side bend. So I'd like to invite you to reach one hand towards the earth, towards the floor, as if you're reaching to pick something up. You can hold the other side of the chair if you like, keeping both sits bones on the chair. So you might imagine that you're seated between two panes of glass. So we want our shoulder lined up with shoulder, and then move from side to side. So it might feel good to inhale to one side, exhale to the other side. If you're congested or that breathing pattern doesn't work for you, breathe in whatever way you can. And you might notice that as we warm up our spine, the movements become more easeful. We're able to go a little bit deeper. And then it's ready, come on back to a neutral spine. And take a moment, and from here we'll come into a gentle twist. So I like to place my hand at the base of my spine. And so we begin by taking an inhale, spine lengthens. And then on the exhale, beginning at the base of your vertebrae, twist one vertebrae at a time. That opposite hand slides in towards the head. And then moving dynamically. So twisting from side to side. And so this is a gentle twist. We're not going into our full range of motion. And then it's ready, finish up the movement that you're on. Come on back to a neutral spine. Relax your arms by your side and then on your lap. And take a moment. I'd like to invite you to notice the effects of those movements of the spine. And so from here, moving on, an invitation to bring your hands together and to rub your palms. And maybe even give your hands a little massage. Your wrists. And so it's wonderful now that there's actually research that shows what we've always known, that our hands are not only connected to our heart, but to our mind as well. And then make like sweep in your hand thumb on your arm. And then when you're ready. And so continue with hands resting on your lap, up your fingers. And maybe exploring tapping from your pinkies to your thumbs. And reversing. And so just a gentle reminder, if you don't have yourself on mute, that'd be awesome. So to diminish some of the background noise. And then when you're ready, push your hands away and draw your hands back. Push your hands away, draw your hands back. And so with this gentle movement, not only are we getting the synovial fluid into all the joints in our arms, so Mother Nature's WD-40, we're actually getting into those tight muscles around our shoulder blades. It's like we're giving ourselves a little massage. Push your hands away, draw your hands back. Okay, so from here, an invitation to roll your wrists in one direction. And so maybe noticing, is one wrist tighter than the other? And if you happen to notice that your mind wanders, gets distracted, wants to wander off, know that that's okay. That's the nature of our mind. If you noticed, good for you. And then in a loving way, compassionate way, bring your awareness back to your movements and your breath. And then an invitation to slow the movements right down. And maybe even taking a look at your hands in appreciation. And then begin to roll your wrists in the opposite direction. And then an invitation to imagine that you're moving your hands through water. And slowly come on back to stillness. Take a moment, notice, is your breath still long and smooth and easeful? So from here, let's get into a practice to get into our elbow joints a little more. So arms by your sides, spiral your palms open. Bend your elbows, palms face away. Spiral your palms open, bend your elbows, palms face away. So one more time. Palms face forward, bend your elbows, palms face away. And so now I'd like you to imagine that you're riding a motorcycle. So flex, extend your wrist. When you're ready, so I find this movement quite challenging. So you're moving from side to side. Shake. And so before we move on from our upper limbs, I'd like to invite you to join me for a yoga swim. So we'll start freestyle. So your arms can be as high or low as you'd like. And then how about breaststroke? And side stroke. Other side. And how about butterfly? Slowly come on back to stillness and take a rest. And so no doubt you're feeling a little more energized. And so from here, let's repose. So I'd like to invite you to ground through your feet, center and ground through the soles of your feet. And so We want to keep our connection with Mother Earth. We tend to start losing that. You're down through your sits bones. Notice where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seats. You might do a little bum dance, or you can even move the buttock flesh away from your sits bones. Lengthen your spine, lift your shoulders up, back, and down. Relax your arms in your lap or wherever feels most comfortable for you. Chin in, parallel with the floor. And so I think from here I'd like to come into a practice called sun breath, so a meditation on the heart. And so when you're ready, if you like, bring your hands to your heart center. So it might be palms open or palms together. And again, if this placement of your hands makes you lose your balance, maybe placing your hands on your belly instead. And so as ready, breathing in, extend your arms up and away. And so I feel comfortable with my arms a little lower than my shoulders. For you, maybe it's up higher or lower. And then making soft fists, take your hands back to your heart center or your Buddha belly. And so inhale, extend up and away. And making soft fists is good if you have arthritis in your hands. And so keeping this gentle heart opener flowing in your own time and rhythm. If you'd like, imagine the sun at your heart center. On your inhales, as you extend your arms up and away, imagine the radiant light of the sun radiating out all around you. And then gather that light and bring it back inside. So it's a symbol of the light that's always inside us. Inhale. This time on your exhale, making a humming sound. This is called bumblebee breath. Inhale. Place one hand on your abdomen, the other on your heart center. And maybe take a moment to feel the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. And we'll shake out again. So from here, sitting up nice and tall, I'd like to invite you to push down through one foot and then push down through the opposite. So it might be an energetic pushing down. So if you are not doing the movement for whatever reason, I'd like to invite you to visualize it. Feel as though you're doing it. So maybe notice, can you feel one foot more than the other? Sits bones are sharp on the chair, spine is long, shoulders. So from here, I'd like to come into a practice called breath of joy. And so we're going to be adding our movements to this if you like. And so it's 3 inhales through the nose, 3 sniffs, and then an exhale. And we'll do 3 rounds. So breath of joy. Here we go. Energetic. Inhale. 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 And drop. So 2 more rounds. Breath of joy. Inhale, 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 and one more time. Inhale, 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 and awesome. So take your hands so that they're facing each other, just a little bit in front of you. Maybe close your eyes softly. And I'd like to invite you to notice any subtle sensations between your hands. So there's no right or wrong. And then maybe moving your hands a little further apart. And closer together. And further apart. Together. And so on inhale, maybe reaching up to the sky, feeling a lightness. And palms face down. So bowing our head towards the heart. A grounding sensation. So extend one arm out to the side, gazing past your middle finger, reach up to the sky. And palm face down. So I sometimes like to think of these gentle movements as a moving meditation. So reaching up to the sky, palm face down. Both arms by your sides, spiral your palms open. Take your hands to your heart center. Reach up to the sky. And then maybe our hands come together in prayer down through the heart. So place one hand on your belly, your abdomen, the other on your heart center. And take a moment to maybe feel the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. Shake out again. So be creative. Woohoo. Shake out wiggly fidgets. So I'd like to carry on to the movements of the spine. And so let's begin with a side bend. So you want to make sure that you're grounded. Your feet are placed evenly on the floor, your foot rests, your sits bones are sharp on the chair. Spine is long, chin tucked in slightly. And so when you're ready, take hold of the underside of your chair, wherever you need to feel stable and balanced. Release your opposite arm by your side. And so today I'll teach a few variations of the side bend. So one variation might be palm face up. Take your hand to your shoulder. Alternatively, if you're wanting to soften in your elbow, reach up and over. That's another alternative. And so is ready. Sitting up tall, release your arm by your side, spiral your palm open. So today I'm just going to take my hand to my shoulder. You take your hand wherever feels good for you, and then come into your side bend. So I'm going to keep both sits bones on the chair, and then turn your gaze, looking down towards the floor, the earth, to release your neck, and then breathe into your rib cage. Can you imagine breathing in below your rib cage? And then as ready, come out of the pose on this side. Just have to pull my drawers up a little more. It's actually cool on the West Coast today. Surprising. So whenever we do on one side, we do on the other if possible. Take hold of the underside of the chair, release your opposite arm by your side. So your hand comes to your shoulder. Maybe it feels okay to reach up and over, and then come into your side bend. Turn your gaze down towards the floor to release your neck, and then breathe into your rib cage. Can you imagine breathing in below your rib cage? And then as ready, come out of the pose on this side. And so I'm thinking, let's come into it one more time on each side and notice if you feel them shift. And so holding the chair, arm by your side, spiral your palm open. So you take your hand to your shoulder, reach up and over, and then come into your side bend. Turn your gaze down towards the floor to release your neck and breathe into your rib cage. Can you imagine breathing in below your rib cage? And come out of the pose on this side. So other side, extend your arm out to the side, spiral your palm open, take your arm to your place. And into your side bend, turn your gaze down towards the floor. And so can you feel that you're creating space in your rib cage? And slowly float your arm down, come on back to a neutral spine. And take a moment to rest and notice how you feel, check in. And so in a way, the yoga happens between the poses and the movements. Notice how you feel. So it's not what the forms look like. Really, the diagnostic tools, how do I feel? So no judgment. Yoga meets us right where we are. And so moving on, let's come into a seated twist. And so I'll teach a couple variations of the twist. And so when ready, bring your hands together, palms together at your heart center, lift your elbows a little. And then so breathing in, we lengthen our spine. And then if you'd like, and it's available to you, bring your elbow point down to your thigh. If you're not able to reach your thigh with your elbow point, might be that you place a block, maybe a book would work, something to bring your thigh to you. And then lift your opposite elbow up towards the ceiling, the sky. And then if it feels okay for your neck, turn your gaze looking up past your elbow. And slowly we'll come out of the pose on this side. So always begin with an inhale, lengthening the spine, and then bringing your elbow point down to your thigh. Reach your other elbow up towards the sky. Turn your gaze up. Press into the palms of your hands. And then it's ready. Come on back to your neutral spine. So let's rock and roll. So we can stay in poses or we can move dynamically. And so let's breathe in, reach up to the sky, and then come into the twist on your exhale. Breathe in, reaching up to the sky, twist. So you're not twerking, pulling yourself into the twist on your hands. Your hands are guides only. Reaching up and twist. And one more time, reaching up to the sky, coming into the twist. And then come on back to your neutral spine. And so side bends, twists are pretty intense spinal movements. So we need to realign our spine. And we can do that with a seated forward fold. And so the version I'd like to share with you today would be to take hold of the underside of your chair. If possible, bring your feet a little wider than outer hip bone distance. That makes a little room for yoga belly. If you know that balance is a challenge for you, please have whatever device you need to keep you stable in your chair. And so as ready, inhale, lengthen your spine. And then hinging from the hips, come forward with a flat back. So lead with the heart, not the head. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck. And then breathe into your lower back. You might imagine that you have placed your lungs in your lower back. So of course we can't physically place our lungs in our lower back. However, that said, energy flows where our thoughts go, our breath goes. And then it's ready. Slowly come out of the pose. So you push down through your inner heels. So it might be an energetic pushing down. You place your hands at your hips or one hand on each of your thigh. And come on back up with a flat back. And then a little shake out. All right, so an invitation now to give your legs a little massage. So patting down wherever feels comfortable for you. And maybe some love taps. Tap, tap, tap. All right, and so from here, where shall we go? So I think I'd like to come into a movement that combines neck movements with arm movements and adding a sound. So exploring using sound as a way to minimize pain. And so sound has a vibration. And so I'll deconstruct this a little. So we'll start by sitting up tall. And then as you're ready, reach your arm up in line with your shoulder. So if in line with your shoulder feels like your arm's too high, lower your arm to your place and turn your palm face up. Have a soft bend in your elbow, nothing rigid. And then extend your arm away from you. Then bring your arm back center. Palm down, release. So other side, reach up, spiral your palm open, moving with grace and ease, extend your arm away from you. On inhale, come back center, palm face down, release. And so if you have a yoga buddy that can help guide the movement, so not do the work for you, but to help guide, that can be lovely. And so this time when we bring our arm out to the side, if it feels okay for your neck, I'd like you to turn your gaze looking past your middle finger. Alternatively, if that bothers your neck, keep a soft gaze forward. So here we go. Reach up, spiraling the palm open. Extending your arm out to the side, gaze past your middle finger. On inhale, come on back center. Palm face down, release. Other side, reach up, spiral your palm open. On exhale, extend your arm away from you, gazing past your middle finger. Inhale, come back center. Palm face down, release. So this time, let's add sound to the movement. And so the sound is shh. So I'm told that the sound shh can help with spasms. And so don't take my word for it, investigate, notice how you feel. And so here we go, reach up, turn your palm face up. On exhale, as you extend your arm out to the side, make the sound shh. Inhale, come back center, palm face down, release. Other side, reach up, spiral your palm open, exhale. Inhale, come back center, palm face down. So one more time on each side, reach up, spiral your palm open, exhale. Inhale, come back center, palm face down. So last time, reach up, bring your palm face up, moving with grace and ease, extend your arm away from you. Inhale, come back center, palm face down. So an invitation to take a moment and notice how you feel. How's your breath? Did you notice any subtle sensations? So trust that the sensations are there. It's not going to be a rocket ship across the sky. So maybe can you name the sensation? Maybe it's an energy that you didn't feel beginning the class. Maybe it's fatigue. Maybe it's a hum that you feel along your spine. And so moving on, I'd like to invite you to draw your hands in towards your hips. And we're going to come into movement to help find our balance. And so today, the absolute best definition of balance that I've heard is from Matthew Sanford. And He is has a spinal cord injury, he's a para, and he's one of my mentors. And he would say that balance is the equal distribution of presence throughout our entire body. And so worth repeating, balance, the equal distribution of presence throughout our entire body. And so with that in mind, we'll begin. So you might take your hands into your hips, maybe it feels more stable to hold on to your chair. And so we'll begin by, with an inhale, lengthen our spine, and then hinging from the hips, rock forward. And so it's not about seeing how far down we can go. We just come to that just right amount of effort needs. And then rock back up. And so an invitation to keep this gentle rocking movement flowing in your own time and rhythm for a few more breaths. As long as it feels comfortable for you. So there's something about this rocking movement that our nervous system likes. So I think our bodies, it might have to do with being made up largely of water. I think we're 65% water. And it can be interesting to close our eyes as we practice these gentle movements. And then as you're ready, bring yourself back up to a neutral spine. Take a moment. And then from here, I'd like to invite you to circle your heart forward. And then circle back. So your movements, your circles might be larger or smaller than mine. So you move in your own time and rhythm. And so I encourage you to explore moving with your breath. And as you begin to feel your lower back, your hips soften and release, see if you can go a little bit deeper. So our shoulders move towards our knees. And of course, we're not going to come all the way down. And then as ready, reverse the direction. And so bring a gentle awareness to the space in front of you. Bring your awareness to the space beside you. And notice how that makes you feel. Bring your awareness to the space above you. And especially an invitation to bring your awareness to the space behind you. And an invitation to trust. So moving away from me to we, to trust that we are being supported. And slowly as ready, make your way back to neutral spine. Relax your arms by your side, then rest your hands, your arms wherever feels most comfortable for you. And take a moment to let your breath settle. Just time. And so I think from here we'll go into modified kind of seated sun breath or sun salutation. And so sun salutations are heating and strengthening and a little bit fun. And so of course it begins by sitting up nice and tall, grounded through your feet, sits bones are sharp on the chair. Spine is long, shoulders back and down. So when you're ready, come into mountain pose. Take your hands to your heart center. Reach up to the sky, gentle back arch. So bend from your shoulder blades. And hinging from the hips, come into a forward fold. So you might take hold of the underside of your chair, maybe soft fist at your hips. Tucking your chin in slightly. And then we'll come into a pose called downward facing dog, modified. So forearms on your lap, lengthen your spine. And then we'll come into baby cobra. So lower a little more. And then lift your solar plexus, your heart. And downward facing dog again. So you can rest your forearms on your lap, push down through your inner heels. And then from here, coming back up. So you push down through your inner heels, one hand on each of your thigh. Come on back up. And so for this next piece, you might be visualizing the movement. And so coming into a lunge, if possible, step your front leg under the front of the chair. If you'd like, you could add your arm, reaching it up along your ear, or maybe in gold pose. Float your arm down. Step your leg forward. Hinging from the hips, come into a forward fold. So reaching up to the sky, scoop up that radiant light of the sun. And then bring your hands together, palms together in prayer, down through to the heart. So if you'd like, imagine a waterfall. And so let's practice one more round. And so come into your mountain pose. Hands at the heart center. Reach up to the sky, gentle back arch. You even take a look between your palms. Notice if they're facing each other, and then return your gaze on the horizon. Hinging from the hips, come into a forward fold. Flat back, chin in. And walk your feet forward a little if you need to, if that's helpful. Downward facing dog, forearms rest on your lap. Push down through your inner heels, lengthen your spine. Maybe even push your sits bones back on the chair. And then lower a little more. So baby cobra. Lift your solar plexus, your heart, lift up through the crown of your head. Downward facing dog again. And then as you're ready, pushing down through your inner heels. So again, it might be an energetic pushing down. Place one hand on each of your thigh. Come on back up. And we'll come into the seated lunge on the other side. So you step your front leg under the front of the chair. So maybe visualizing the movement. Maybe you're blessed with a yoga buddy that can help with the movement. And then reaching up to the sky. So arm up along your ear, maybe in gold pose. Float your arm down, step your leg forward, hinging from the hips, forward fold. Scoop up that radiant light of the sun. And then maybe our hands come together in prayer, down through the heart. So bowing our head towards our heart gives us a little nerve flossing for our neck. Place one hand on your abdomen, the other on your heart center. And take a moment to rest. And so from here, we're going to come down off the mountains. And so I'd like to guide you in a short guided meditation. And from there, we'll transition into final relaxation. And so an invitation to find a comfortable sitting position. So sit in a way that you feel the most at ease, however, you're still alert. And I'd like to introduce a hand gesture. So they're called mudras in yoga, and they were created to help us focus our mind. And this is called the hand gesture of calm abiding. And so palms are face down on our lap. Draw your hands in towards your hips. And then if you'd like, you could have a soft gaze looking downwards, maybe 3 or 4 feet in front of you on the floor. That can be calming for our nervous system. Or if it feels comfortable for you, feel free to close your eyes softly. And so an invitation to look down and into your heart. See what you can see. And then to breathe into your heart. And so the meditations by Thich Nhat Hanh, Zen Buddhist monk, beloved. And so he passed away at 95 years old, I think almost 2 years ago now. And so it goes like this. Breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. As my in-breath grows deep, my out-breath grows slow. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. So we'll sit and breathe together for a few moments with a gentle reminder. Breathing. And when you're ready, come into whatever comfortable seated position you'd like for your final relaxation. And so if you have a chair where you have the ability to recline, feel free to recline in your chair. Make sure you have support for your head and neck. If you're in a regular chair, you might want to place your chair, if you have the space, up against your wall. And lean back, again, maybe with a bit of support for your head. I sometimes will put a rolled yoga mat along my spine. That can feel lovely and supportive. Alternatively, a bit of weight on our thighs. I have a blanket. And so a bit of weight on our thighs can encourage a grounding sensation. I'm told, or I've heard, that it can help with fatigue. And so it doesn't work for everyone. And so this is meant to be a deep, conscious relaxation. You're not meant to fall asleep in it. And so as ready, you close your eyes softly if that feels comfortable for you. Soften your gaze. Rest your hands, palms face up, palms face down, as desired. Lift your shoulders up, back and down. So soft, organic movements. This isn't meant to be a big scrunch up around our ears. The idea is to allow our shoulders to soften away from our ears. So soft palms, soft Buddha belly, the area between our navel and our pubic bone. Quiet breath. Allow your breath to reflect the pulse. And soften around your temples. Soften the area between your eyebrows, wide forehead. Silently, if you like, on inhale, say let. On exhale, go. Inhale, let. Exhale. If it's challenging to quiet the mind, placing our hands on our belly and bringing our awareness to our breath can be helpful. And without changing anything, bring a gentle awareness back to your breath. Thank your body. Thank your body again. And so our bodies are the best home our mind will ever have. And so if you'd like, maybe taking 3 deep, long breaths, so you're counting to 3. And gradually blink your eyes and come on up seated comfortably to finish your yoga practice. And so if you'd like, taking your hands to your heart center. And so placing our hands at our heart center can actually engage the parasympathetic nervous system. So the relaxed part of our nervous system. And so lifting your heart to your hands, bowing your head to your heart. Take a moment to honor yourself for showing up for yoga today. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. And so the teacher in me honors and appreciates the teacher in all of you, each of you. So thank you to Kasar, my wonderful tech host, Nectar, and the Disability Foundation for providing this opportunity for us to practice yoga together. Thank you. And so notice how you feel before and after yoga. Questions or feedback. I always love to hang out for a little bit after. And so, yeah, I'm going to actually move into my iPad a little closer so that I can see you a little better. And maybe give you a little change of scenery here. Hi, everyone. Some new faces today. So thanks, Kasar. I think if we're going to hang out for a few minutes.
Yeah, it's fine. You can go.
Yeah. Hey, Mercedes.
Thank you, Bobbie. I am in Los Angeles.
Woo!
And, I had to go to the emergency. My blood pressure was so high, 205/95.
Oh.
Yeah, but my blood pressure is coming down now.
Good.
So
are you?
I think in Los Angeles is totally a different lifestyle than Vancouver.
Yeah.
Vancouver, I walk a lot, like 1 kilometer or more every day. In Los Angeles, no, you don't walk. It's always you use the car, right?
Yeah, I'm curious, Mercedes, is there a park near you? So if you walk in the forest, in the woods, that can lower your blood pressure.
Oh, okay.
And if low blood pressure, it can raise your blood pressure. So I'm just about ready to graduate as a forest therapy guide
Oh, really? Oh, neat.
next week, this weekend.
Okay. You teach us where to go?
Oh, for sure.
The parks? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, but if
That's-
you can find a nice park near you, that'll
Yeah,
help.
we have a park close by, so.
Oh, good. Go for it. Give me a report.
Yeah, is that the only thing that can lower your blood pressure? Is walking in the park?
I have to think about it, love.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's not a short answer.
That's great. It's great
Yeah.
though.
For sure, the yoga practice.
Yeah, I haven't been doing it. That's why when I am in Vancouver, I have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday
Right on.
yoga class.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's
Well,
beautiful. It's
they-
beautiful in Vancouver
Yes, for sure.
because you can just go to the Kitsilano beach, right? It's really beautiful. But here, no.
Yeah, you have family there?
Yes, my family is here. Yeah,
Ah.
yes.
Well, it's important. So,
Yeah,
ladies,
I
always,
love your place. You have a beautiful place there. You know, the scenery is so good.
you
Great.
have to come for
Is
a
that,
visit.
is that the outside your balcony or is it the
Yeah,
patio?
it's a
You-
patio side.
it's-
So come and we'll take a walk in the woods here. Anyway,
Oh,
it's
it's so
half
big.
acre.
How big is your property?
half an acre.
Wow, that's
I-
fantastic.
I'm blessed. They say.
And you don't go to Vancouver